Hi everybody, this is going to be my YouTube review of the Benjamin Marauder 177. Got my little crib sheet here so I don't babble too much, certain talking points. Start with the butt pad. You can see it's just regular rubber butt pad. It's got a compression area as if it could absorb some recoil, but I think that's just for looks. The cheek pieces are nice and high, so they're actually put your cheek in a good place for using the scope, and they're ambidextrous, so it works for lefties or righties. Moving back to the trigger and the safety. Let me get my shirt out of the way. This back one is the trigger, front one's the safety. Pull it forward, the safety's off. One of the neat things about this design is that if you're out hunting, it's not only the report of the gun that's quiet, but the safety. You can, if you hear me, I can flip that forward. Doesn't make any noise at all. So that's kind of nice. It's also one of the only, with a few PCP guns that comes with sling swivel studs stock, so you can put a sling on there, carry it around easily for hunting. One in the front here. Again, either for a sling or for an easy place to mount a bipod if you're going to shoot it from a bench. Looking at it this way, you can see the pressure gauge. It's from 0 to 3,000 psi, which is about the safe range. They show you, they're nice enough to mark the red and yellow ranges as to what's not ideal. It comes tuned from the factory for a 2,500 psi fill. I shot a string over the chronograph and confirmed that that really is the ideal tune for it. You shoot it from 2,500 psi down to 2,000 psi, and that's the sweet spot of the curve. So that's a good place to start. If you want to adjust it, you just take out this hex plug in the back here. Longer than I remember. And the degassing tool goes in there one way, and then there's two different size Allen wrenches that go down to adjust the hammer stroke and the hammer preload. In case you want to tune it yourself, this is maybe one of the easiest PCP rifles to tune out of the box. Okay, move on to the magazines. We'll get to the shooting later, don't worry. Move on to the magazine. Just your basic rotary magazine. It's got a hole here, and the way we work this is to rotate the clear part all the way around against the spring, lock it back, and then we put our finger on the back here to cover the hole, drop a pellet in the first hole, and then rotate it back around to the second position. Now that first pellet's held in with tension, drop in the next pellet, advance the hole over the next hole in the black part, drop in the next pellet, etc. Now I found with this magazine that positions 5 and 6 can get a little sticky, and you have to kind of help them in with the ballpoint pen sometimes. And then, well, I've got one chambered now, so I'll show you how the operation works. So, back here where you can see me. You can also get an idea for how loud the rifle is. This is indoors, so it'll be much quieter outside. All you heard was that ting, and I think the pellet hitting the target, right? So when we want to advance to the next round, pull up the bolt handle, back. That's where you'll feel it cocking the spring. And then push it forward again. I push by the middle part here. It's a smoother action if you do. Bolt handle down, and fire. Okay, and then when you want to change magazines, bolt handle up, back, grab the magazine, kind of push it from one side while you pull it from the other side, pop that out, pop the next one in, chamber around, pop. Easy as can be. Now one thing you have to watch out for is if you pull this back just a little bit like this and then you try and pull the magazine out, you'll break off the tip of the probe. So make sure that's pulled all the way back and latched open before you try and pull the magazine out or push the magazine in. Now, one thing Benjamin doesn't include with this is the single shot tray. That ticked off a lot of people because they charge $15 for it, and it's just a plastic tray that goes in here. I bought that thing anyway, and it turns out it doesn't help your accuracy at all. It's just the only advantage I can think of is that if you're just shooting one of a kind, or one of each pellet, one after another, instead of shooting multiples, that makes it easier. But your top accuracy is actually the same from the magazine or from the single shot tray. Quietness, you heard that. The feel of the action is actually really nice. The bolt just slides nice and smooth in there. You just keep just a thin coat of oil on the outside of the bolt here. When I cock it, I don't pull it by the ball on the end here. Pull it closer to the center, and it moves smoother. And it's just such a nice light action here. Now, on a powder burner bolt action, when you pull the bolt up, that's when it cocks a spring. But on a PCP air gun, you pull the bolt up, that just unlocks it, and when you pull it back, that's when it cocks a spring. So it feels a little different than a powder burner. I can show you that, maybe the tip of that bolt probe here. You can see that thin piece of steel on the end of the bolt. That's easy to break if you jam the magazine sideways against that. You can imagine. I know because I did it once, and I had to order a new bolt and wait, you know, $25-30, and then wait another week to shoot it. That was a painful wait. And I showed you about the adjustments in the back here. One thing I should mention, the reason the rifle is so quiet is because it's fully shrouded. And what that means is that the barrel starts back here and the action goes up to maybe about here or so. You can see that's only about half the length of the apparent barrel. From here all the way to the end is shrouds. And there's a little threaded cap here. Maybe I can shake one out for you real quick. It's just a little plastic tube. I got an O-ring in my hand. I'll have to see where that came from. Probably went under this cap. Yeah. So when you want to clean the barrel, you take off this threaded cap, I guess you'd call it. Kind of dump it downwards. You know, one or two shrouds will come out. You might have to push the other one out. The other one's out from the back with your weed whacker line, and that way you can clean the barrel without you know, jamming anything against the shrouds. The scope, you may have seen the scope, is a Hawk Tactical Sidewinder, 4.5 to 14 by 44, the 30mm tube. I got a good deal on this used. It was just lightly used. Everyone said it was a great scope. It's got the half mil dots, the half 10x mil dots, side focus wheel you can see on this side. I really like that side focus. But to be honest, I could do without the 30mm tube and all the weight that it adds. So if I were doing it again, I might go with something a little more humble, you know. Maybe a Bushnell Banner. Doesn't have to be able to take a lot of damage to go on this. Maybe one of those nice Simmons 6.5 to 20 whitetail hunters or whatever they call them. But anyway, the way this works is you pull up the turret and turn it, and that's 1/4 minute of angle adjustment. So each click is a 1/4 inch at 100 yards. When you get it where you want it, push it down and it's locked. This is back here is to adjust the focus of the reticle. Comes with a spin-on threaded aluminum caps, and the side focus wheel. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's marked with the yardage, and that's adjustable, so you can actually adjust it for your eye. Optics are nice and sharp. It's a Hawk scope, so it works with the Hawk Chairgun Pro software, and helps you predict your bullet drop when you use the mil dots. Pretty handy, I should say, pellet drop. Alright, now when you get this, if this is your first PCP gun, you're going to have to decide you want to get a tank or a pump. One of the reasons I picked the Marauder was that since it's tuned to work at 2500 psi and it shoots at about 18 foot-pounds at that fill pressure, so it'll shoot a Craftsman Premier Heavy at about 880 feet per second. I think that's right. I'll have to double check that. But that works out to about 18 foot-pounds, which is a heck of a lot of power for small game hunting. Any kind of small game you can imagine is going to be in mortal danger out to about 60 or 70 yards with this baby and some heavy pellets. So let me just show you my pump choice now. I actually went with the Hill pump. You can see it's got the kind of the industrial crinkle finish on the outer tube here. Silicone grease on the shaft there. Came with the desiccant holder, filter on the inside, and also the desiccant pills. You can see the pressure gauge here is bigger and easier to read than the one that's on the rifle. And then your valve here, tighten that up before you attach it. About 10 pumps takes to pressurize the hose, and then from there on you're pumping the rifle. When you get the rifle up to the pressure you want, loosen this up kind of quickly. All the air that's caught in the hose shoots out. Here's the female end of the Foster fitting. So you pull this back and just stick it on the male one that's on the gun. And when you push it on, you'll hear it click, and you'll see it click. But anyway, really nice pump. It costs about $200. Less than a tank, but twice as much as the Benjamin pump. But word on the internet is that they're a lot better. But also, in defense of the Benjamin ones, guys say they work fine as long as you don't pump them up too hot, and as long as you're willing to fix them when they need seals again. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll do a couple of more shots for you, just for fun. I'll show you the pellet choices too. You heard that snap. When you hear that snap, you're on 0, so no more in that magazine. Okay, so that's about it. I'll just show you the pellet choices now real quick. I tried dozens of different types of pellets, but these are the ones that I found shoot the best in the gun. I'm sure I'll get some comments on my orange Crocs. Might as well just laugh at them right now. Go ahead. Okay, we got Beam and Kodiak, 10.65 grains. Those shoot great. H&N Field Target Trophy Power, plated. Our buddy Ted says that they shoot pretty well. I found that they do shoot really well, but I'm not sure if they're any better than Kodiak's out of my gun. Craftsman Premier Heavy. You can see I've got a sponge, and I've got the tin mark that the sponge has whiskcomb honey in it. It's an idea I got from Tom Gaylord. But you put about 40 drops of whiskcomb honey in here. You know, smush it all in, put a single layer of pellets on there, and shake the tin up, and then they all have a light coating of that lube. PCP guns that are shooting alloy pellets like the Craftsman Premiers should have that lube, because the alloy, the antimony that's in there shoots kind of dirty. Believe it or not, the Benjamin PCP Discovery pellets, these are 10.5 grain hollow points. Not sure if this is going to focus for me that close, but they're just like the Craftsman Premier Heavy, but they're dug out a little bit on the front. This is another one that some guys on the Yellow Forum says shoots really well in the 177 Marauder. The H&N Barracuda match with the 4.51mm head diameter. I haven't confirmed that yet. So far, the gun's favorite are the PCP Discovery pellets, 10.5 grain hollow point, and the Craftsman Premier Heavy. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Feel free to shoot me any questions about this.